over the last couple of weeks for Missouri. The Tigers, with an RPI of 38, are looking very good to be the 12th or the 13th team from the SEC. They have a shot again this year of getting everybody in. And Jenna Laird will lead things off. The junior out of East Meadow, New York, who was a member of the All-SEC tournament team last year when the Tigers went on a wild ride and reached the finals before falling to Arkansas down in Gainesville. Fouts lost the grip on that one.
A little bit of airmail. Doesn't hurt every once in a while.
This has been such a fun tournament over the years. The good news for Alabama, winners of 6 championships here. They have Allie Shipman behind the dish, who had to clear concussion protocol this week. And Montana Fouts will start things off with a strikeout of Laird, 1 down.
Well, this is part of the maturity of Montana Fouts. This rise ball in the outer half, she can start to throw this more like a screwball. So it's going to go up, but it's also going to have a little bit of bend out just by a break of the wrist, a little bit of turn of the thumb out, and she just hits that upper quadrant. Really good locations for her first strikeout of the game.
That'll bring up Alex Honnold, the junior out of West Des Moines. 5th best batting average in the SEC this year for Alex. She was 1 for 3 with an RBI double in their opener last night.
She's one that doesn't get a lot of attention in the SEC. Obviously, so many great hitters, but you mentioned the stats, the numbers that she's put up, having a career season, batting average 5th in the SEC, batting over 400. She's been huge for this team, but a name that doesn't get brought up a ton, just because Missouri has not won a ton of games in conference.
Well, and you mentioned too, Jess, these 3 right at the top are the producers, with Laird, Honnold, and then Cara Daly on deck. And when you're facing a Montana Fouts, you're not quite sure if you're going to see her more than 3 times in a night. There's Larissa Anderson. Another swing and a miss. 2 up, 2 down, 2 strikeouts.
Well, and that's the drop ball that she's been throwing more of this year, Jess. So instead of fastball in this situation, she's going to go down, and you can just see the rotation. It's almost like an over-the-top drop that also runs away from the lefties. And when that ball is moving and at the lower half of the zone, it's so hard to hit.
Especially if you're trying to protect the rise ball, which is her best pitch.
Yeah.
And then the movement that she gets on that drop.
Here is Cara Daly. Ball 1 to Cara. James Colsey, Chris Neighbors, and Paul Eds, the umpires tonight. The sophomore from Jeff City Mo. He's been their 2-year starter at 3rd base, walked right into the starting job. She had 2 hits, including an RBI last night.
The biggest thing for her, too, was just getting on time. That is everything with hitting. So she went ahead and just eliminated her stride. So chases that ball down in the dirt. But you'll kind of see with her front foot, she used to have more of a leg kick, more of a stride. She basically just like heel up, heel down. I mean, just pretty eliminated to get her lower half on time.
1-2 pitch. In the 2 starts for Montana Fouts in the regular season series, 16 innings of work. Did not give up a run, only allowed 7 hits, and struck out 26. She was fabulous Fouts against the Tigers, and she opens the night tonight with 2K.
She's got an advantage because when you're throwing night games, Smitty, you know this. I mean, you love playing under the lights, but as a hitter, it's always advantage pitcher. It's just harder to pick up, especially with velocity.
Yeah, the spin, it's just harder to see everything. It's hard to read what direction the ball's going in.
It's a good battle right here. And You kind of expect Fouts to go back down. We saw Kara Daly chase the pitch. That it was a 3-hopper down in the dirt, that drop ball. Because really, when you're trying to lay off the rise, you're looking down in the zone. So you tend to bite at stuff that's not in the zone down.
No!
Opponents this year against Montana, when she's got 2 strikes on you, are batting .090. Sub 100.
So if Mendoza's line is 200, what's below the 100?
You may have noticed, by the way, the rain has started up again. The slow roller, and it's bobbled. Cahalan couldn't handle the spinner on the dirt. Got a 2-out base runner for Missouri. The Mendoza line in softball is the Jess Mendoza line, which is a 400 and above, by the way.
This ball off the end of the bat, and you could just see the amount of spin, which I'm surprised she tried to go backhand on.
Yeah, she had plenty of time to really get in front of that.
E6 on Cahalan, the freshman shortstop.
That thing was, as soon as it hit the dirt, too, it took a different direction. Those are the ones you got to make sure you're getting behind.
So here's the 4-hitter, Julia Crenshaw.
Ball outside.
Julia was 0 for 3 in their opener last night. Another swing and a miss for Fouts. 274 on the season for Julia. Already 6 swings and miss here in the first inning.
Ball.
Well, that's one of the areas that, Alabama's really going to have to clean up going into this tournament and the postseason, is that defensive alignment behind Montana. That's the 46th error of the year. And when Montana's striking out, as many hitters as she is, you got to make those plays.
That's the key to getting to her. Put the ball in play. It's not even hit it hard. A lot of times that's what you're looking to do, get barrel. But against this Bama team, as good as Fouts is, let's put the ball in play.
There's Patrick Murphy, year number 25. His 5 SEC championships, tied with Florida's Tim Walton for the most for an SEC coach. And that is laced the other way, and Larissa Pruitt able to get down to it. Alabama picking up the bats when we come tournament debut. And they will be facing Jordan Weber, who gets the call, the senior from Lee's Summit, Missouri. Jordan, a couple of starts during the regular season against the Tide. 8 innings of work, 9 hits, and 7 earned runs.
Kiefer Weber is going to be limiting those free passes and just attacking the zone.
Jenna Johnson, fly ball out to center, drifting over is Honnold. 1 down.
Weber's had a good year. She's been able to attack hitters, and when she is attacking hitters, that's really one of the keys to her game. It's that rise ball and screwball combination that she'll use, but the off speed that really sets up those pitches at the top of the zone. And again, limiting free passes, working from ahead. When Weber does that, she's a completely different pitcher.
Here's Larissa Pruitt. Hit a grand slam off the Tigers during the regular season series. Freshman out of Hartselle, Alabama. Patrick Murphy with 8 players departing in the offseason, 8 newcomers arriving. He's relied heavily on a lot of the freshmen and the transfers. It's been a challenging year, but he really likes where his team is at mentally and physically, and thinks that they certainly have what it takes to make a deep run.
Big swing from Larissa Pruitt. She was 1-1 looking up in the zone. You could tell her eyes got huge. You can see that late movement on the rise ball from Weber.
Yeah. She had 8 hits last weekend, guys. SEC Player of the Week. Reached for that. Infield pop-up. Daly's 2 down. bring up Ashley Prangy, who's been their most consistent hitter all season and with some power, including 2 of her 13 home runs on the season coming off of Missouri pitching.
No, that last pitch is her off speed, so it's not super slow. It's not going to be in the 40s, high 40s, low 50s. It's that 58-mile-an-hour spin, a little bit lower in the zone.
The goal for Jordan Weber is to miss barrels, not necessarily get the swing and miss, but that last swing off the end of the bat. Oh, she's ready. Let's go.
Looks like she's ready for a late dinner.
Yeah. Blankets taste good.
0-2 pitch, up and away. And the rains have returned. Going to be in the area, unfortunately, throughout the weekend, it would appear. 6 hits in her last 5 games for Ashley. She's been a big reason why, after a slow start to the SEC, the Tide have won 5 of their last 6 series coming into the tournament.
She had that foot injury, and she was out for a couple games, and everybody was out of position, and Patrick Murphy was super relieved when she was back, cleared, had the boot off, was able to overcome that foot injury, and has done well the last 8 to 10 games.
Prangy gets a hold of one. Back it goes. Deep center and gone. Ashley Prangy with a bash. And Bama leads early.
The key, Smitty, you talked about mixing in that off speed, but usually when you're going to mix it in, you want it down and out of the zone. This one was hanging up in the zone, and when you get a bat like Prangy, she knew it. How about as soon as she hit it? Just go ahead and drop the bat. Let's go into the trot. Get Alabama on the board. And that's her 4th home run off of Weber this season. She knows she owns her.
Yeah. Yeah, for 2 strikes, that pitch needs to be a little bit lower, a little bit more outside.
Number 14 on the year for Ashley. And here's Allie Shipman. This is probably the bat in the order that could make a massive difference if she's hitting 300 or 400 in determining how far the Tide could go in the NCAAs.
I like what she did first pitch, just coming out swinging, because when Allie Shipman is struggling, she's taking a lot more pitches. You can tell there's a lot of thought, a lot going on in her head. But right now, coming out aggressive.
Ball.
Of the Ole Miss series, she did not play in the next 2 games, and she has launched one back to the track at the base of the wall, and it will stay in the yard.
Designed cleats that Madeline helped her paint. She couldn't wear them in the game tonight because of rules, but she's got them. She wore them during warm-ups, and she's got them with her in the dugout. Madeline helped paint these alongside of her nurses at St. Jude's Hospital, and so I just knew when that ball sailed over the wall, that was in Ashley Prangy's heart, because she knows Madeline is at the hospital watching on TV right now.
Well, terrific moment for those 2. The solo home run for Ashley. And the hand-painted cleats.
Some good artwork.
Got some magic in them.
5, 6, and 7 coming up here for Missouri against Montana Fouts, who struck out a couple in that first inning.
Got it.
Strikeout number 3, 1 down.
Fouts is just dealing. And that rise ball at the top of the zone. Just Watch that movement. She puts it in that sweet zone, Jess.
I just love the look, especially the slow-mo, because you get to see where it's in the strike zone when the hitter decides to swing, and then how it's out of the strike zone after the miss.
Fouts now inching closer to the second 300 strikeout season of her career. She's 5 away.
Ball.
Also, because LSU lost earlier today, they had one more win than Alabama in SEC tournament history. So a win tonight moves the Tide into that top spot with LSU with a 45th career SEC tournament win. Those two, along with Florida, have been the dominating performers in the SEC championships over the years.
No.
This is the 26th tournament. We've had 7 different champions in the last 11 years. There has been a lot of chaos here, and it started out that way again this season. Already 3 upsets through the first 3 games. Chop to second. Staying down on it is Hevlin. Makes the play, 2 down.
Take a look at Montana Fouts. When she throws this rise ball at the top of the zone, look at the rotation. The location is key. And when you look at a heat map of her swing and misses, it's at that top part of the strike zone where you can really see that zone where she's in the zone but also above the zone. And so, Jess, you know, when you take hitters up the ladder like that,
But look at that.
that is leveraged.
Very consistent, and you know as a hitter. I think it's the hardest thing, and that's what makes the drop so good. Plus, it's a mile-an-hour difference. It's about, 10 to 12 miles an hour difference between the drop and the rise, but you know as a hitter going in, her best pitch is her rise ball. And yet, you still find yourself swinging and missing, still trying to take the bait and going after it.
That looked like your swing and miss hot zone as well. Am I wrong on that?
Oh, yeah, mine was a little higher, though.
Jess never met a rise ball she didn't like.
Yeah. It's a fun pitch to hit when you do.
Oh, it goes a long way. We're Megan Mile, the DP tonight.
What do we say? Elevate to celebrate, right? Get under it and take it from high to higher out of the park if you can.
14 home runs off of Fouts this year. The Tide thought that was out number 3, but they'll have to stick around.
No.
I think a lot of people are curious if this will be a bit of a testing ground for Patrick Murphy to see what Montana might be capable of come regional weekend or super regional. How much can she go? He has raved, the last couple of times we talked to him, her conditioning right now, best shape of her life. He thinks she could throw forever if need be. She may be called upon to throw a lot of innings, just like she's done in the regular season.
Well, and to your point, Beth, she is just about 14 innings away from a career high in innings pitched, and she'll blow through that with this tournament and regionals next weekend. But the key is she is in good shape, and if she keeps her finger, she's had some blisters on her fingers. If she keeps that healthy, then she'll be fine.
And that will fall onto the grass out in shallow center. Second inning in a row here with a 2-out base runner for Missouri as they get their first hit. You can see the tape there she's got on her right index finger. Here's Peyton Jackson, the right fielder. Out of Missouri City, Texas, with the swing and the miss. 0 for 3. She scored a run yesterday. Of course, they made it all the way to the finals a year ago. This season, as the lowest seed in the field, they're calling themselves the Party Crashers. And I think we heard Kevin and Amanda and Courtney referring to that dugout as Club Mizzou last night.
Yeah, the hats, definitely the energy.
Oh, yeah.
It's a fun place to be.
Yeah.
We've seen all the double-digit seeds just come into this thing, having fun, you know, enjoying it.
Larissa Anderson now just 2 wins away from 300
Hold on, I got you.
in her Missouri career. And a swing and a miss again. Played tonight. That will be tomorrow morning, 11 Eastern, to start our day on SEC Network. As Kenley Cahalan starts the bottom of the second with a base knock for the Tide.
This is the bat. Pat Murphy talking to him earlier this week. They need to get her going. And look at this beautiful job of going on an away pitch and just reaching to get enough. Get enough to get it to the grass. Get yourself a base runner, especially the leadoff on. Nobody out.
That'll bring up Bailey Dowling out of St. Joseph, Illinois, to face Weber. Crenshaw snagged that.
This is a great snag.
Keep the base runner at first.
Yeah, caught it practically behind her.
Crenshaw is new to catching, by the way. She was a top 10 recruit, the Prep Missouri Player of the Year. Obviously a terrific athlete.
That's a trend we're seeing in the SEC this year. I mean, never before have you seen just coaches recognize athleticism and leadership, 2 things that are musts behind the plate, and saying, all right, you know what, you've never caught before, but I trust that you've got the skills, we'll make this work. Arkansas, another team, Tennessee, the #1 seed, taking players that never caught before, and now they are.
Well, and the other thing, too, is that, you know, the way the game is changing, as a catcher, you might have to handle 2, 3 pitchers per game now with the advent of much more bullpen play, more relievers. Complete games are getting more and more rare for starters.
And that's where the leadership component comes in so well, because you're basically a psychologist.
What are you saying?
Wow,
Yeah.
that was a direct shot.
Wait, are you talking about the line drive or the
shot? Not the line drive.
Thank you.
The line drive in the booth.
That's what I mean.
You know how we have to talk to Smitty?
I was like, hey.
Put on our psychology
Typical
hat.
pitcher.
Okay.
It took her a second to pick
She's
it up,
like,
by the way.
wait a second.
That might be directed at me. Here's the 1-2 pitch in the dirt. You notice, too, the raindrops, so holding on to that softball may be a little dicey at times this evening.
It's really a good time to test an arm, especially with a pitcher that's a little erratic.
Dowling. There's a shot right back up the middle. 2 on to open up the second inning for the Tide, and this is what Patrick Murphy was hoping for, what he called old school Alabama, and simply pass the bat.
Beautiful job with 2 strikes, too. I mean, that to me is the swing you want with 2 strikes. Just shorten up, get to the ball, hit it up the middle. She did that perfectly.
And after Cahalan passes the bat to Dowling, Dowling will pass the bat to Emma Broadfoot. Another one of the newcomers, the transfer from North Alabama, dropping down the sacrifice, and a good one. 1 down.
Good situational softball. In a situation knowing that you want to put some more runs up on the board. It's a rainy night. Put that sacrifice down, move them both up. Try to punch in a couple other runs here in the bottom of the second.
The infield so pulled in, too. Take a look at that right side.
3rd sacrifice of the year for Emma, and here's Callie Hevlin, foul ball. Maddie Snyder with the old get the jersey a little dirty dive out there.
Yeah,
Especially when it's wet.
Yes. I think that's a little more for show.
Trying to slide. I think she's trying to slide for it.
Yeah.
What are you trying to say?
With one left fielders.
We have a brawl warning in the booth.
With
Here's the 0-1.
You good catch, you all right?
Callie's the sophomore from Three Rivers, Michigan, who didn't play a whole lot last year, but she's one of a handful of Alabama players this year that Murph has really started to let play more and more as the season has progressed. Looking for the right mix.
Well, this is what he loves about her, but also trying to reel back in. She hasn't met a pitch she doesn't like. Because of that, she's incredibly aggressive, which you want. But when it's SEC pitching, you got to understand you can't hit everything. So find your zone.
We heard Kayla Bro pregame talk about whoever's bottom of the order gets it done. Well, 4 of the 5 in the bottom here are all newcomers this year for Alabama, including Kristen White in the on-deck circle, another one of the freshmen.
Yeah, and this is where you have to really know the situation. This is typically the highest batting average in all of softball. Runners at second and third with less than 2 outs. And, you know, it's not bases loaded. It's this situation right here because the defense has to be in, and it just opens up your ability to shoot the ball through the infield, get it out on the green.
And this is a great look, too, because as a hitter, look, I mean, your middle infielders are almost even with your corners. Of course, Heavlin with runners in scoring position, just 182 with 11 strikeouts.
Drives one and delivers there. Base knock to bring a run home. And Alabama adds to the lead and now have runners on the corners with 1 down.
Beth, another 2-strike hit. This is where Kayla Bro, you mentioned, talked about at the bottom of the lineup. But the thing is, in these situations, when you have 2 strikes, figuring out a way to find the grass. Get it to the outfield. You got ducks on the pond, second and third, just finding a way to get them in, especially when the count is against you. A good job back-to-back from Heavlin and Bailey Dowling.
17th RBI on the season for Heavlin. Brings Cahalan home. 3rd single of the inning here for Alabama, and that has Missouri talking about things with the number 9 hitter Kristen White coming in. Larissa Anderson, who's done a terrific job. Remember, she arrived in town that season of COVID when they were going to be ineligible for the postseason anyways. But has quickly followed up her success at Hofstra, her previous stop. They've been a regional host the last 2 years. White drops it down, and it's mishandled by Weber, and another run is in. The throw to third, and sliding in safely is Heavlin. And a little small ball to put the pressure on the defense. Forced Weber to hurry, trying to make the play at home.
Well, White does a good job of getting this ball right back to Weber, and she just brings her head up, worried about that runner coming home, so that's a play she's got to be able to make. Love the way that...
Oh, she did.
Infield is still in with runners at the corners and the 1 out. And you heard the home plate umpire, James Colsey, say, yep, she kept the bat out there, 0-1. Heavlin is the base runner at second, who just advanced. Is White down at second, excuse me, Heavlin at third. So a couple of RBI opportunities here for Jenna. 24 on the season. She gets her hacks in there. She doesn't like to walk a whole lot. In fact, only 7 on this season.
Barely got a piece of that changeup too. She actually hit it off like the top of the bat.
Looking for the gap, drifting over to make the catch is Peyton Jackson. Runners will tag, and the runner will score. Hevlin comes in with the 3rd run of the inning. And the sac fly for Jenna.
Alabama this inning too, just showing a variety of different ways. Some 2-strike hits, 3 different sacrifices, 2 bunts, 1 in the air. This is Alabama softball when they get going. It's not a lot of home runs. It's putting the ball in play, getting them in.
Well, Patrick Murphy told us this week that, the team has started to feel things come together. Who was it? Jordan Stevens, right? One of the reserves said, "Don't let us get hot. That's trouble."
Some other hitters are warming up. 3 hitters over 300, but there's quite a few of them that are approaching that 300 mark. So if you can elevate your batting average this time of year, you know you're getting on a hot streak.
Winner of this one will face the home team, the 4-seed Arkansas, in the quarterfinals, scheduled for tomorrow night. We've already had a 4-hour weather delay today. More weather expected in the area tomorrow. And hopefully we will get the day underway at 11 Eastern with the 8-9 matchup, Florida and Kentucky. They just played each other last weekend to close out the regular season. Cats took 2 of 3.
That means there's going to be some offense.
Yes, there will be.
Usually advantage hitter.
See Skylar Wallace. She's been outstanding this year.
Here's the 2-1 to Pruitt. Oh, almost hit the base runner. White had to duck out of the way.
It's pretty matrix just to get out of the way. Get down.
Everybody ducking. The umpire's getting out of there too. Pruitt out in front.
This is where Missouri pitchers, both with Weber and now with Krings, is that put-away pitch. We've seen 2-strike hits, 2-strike put the ball in play. The ability of Alabama, actually, when they get in these counts, to find success.
Got some activity out in the Missouri bullpen. Sierra Harrison. Krings, by the way, did get the win against Alabama in last year's SEC tournament. That was one of their victories en route to the final. Right back to her. She'll make the play to first. For
Hawaii. Great memories, but my sophomore year, we were playing in a super regional against Stanford, and we dropped game 1, and we felt ourselves kind of back in that same place. And I remember so vividly our senior at the time, Whitney Larson, bringing us together, and she said, "We're going to play fearless today." And she didn't mean fearless, like, let's go out and play free, let's have fun. She meant, no, we're gonna be vulnerable. We're gonna be willing to fail. We're gonna make adjustments. We're gonna put ourselves out there, and we're gonna try something new and play and compete with a lot of heart, a lot of grit. And that's what I told the team before Tennessee. You're facing the best pitching staff at the time in the country, and you gotta go play fearless against them today. Be okay making a mistake.
Fouch with a fly ball to left. Kayla?
Yeah, be okay making a huge adjustment, not willing to let a Carlin Pickens rise ball get by you, but being early, being on top of it and going up and hacking. And it was really cool to see the response from the team in that fight. And that's just something, that tradition and history is something that we try and pass on to the current players. And as a former player, Murph does such a good job of continuing that tradition, and Bama U stays alive and strong because of the relationship between the alums and the current players.
Ball.
Montana Fouts continues to deal for Alabama. Kayla, actually take you back to that freshman year before the Hawaii situation you talked about. Didn't you guys win the SEC championship on this very field, or in this very town?
Yes, we did.
Take us into what it's like and all the insanity of what these 3 and 4 days can be like for the student athletes.
You know, it's really incredible, and I think about just the day-to-day process. These are some of the best memories I ever had playing on the field, because it's one game, it's a new team each day. You got to come to the field ready to go, and with all the, you know, rain delay. I think we had rain delays every single year we played in the tournament.
That's slashed out to left field, trying for 2, and the stand-up double there for Jenna Laird. We got some.
I got a lot of great memories at this park, you guys. Yeah, it's no joke winning this tournament. This tournament is so difficult to win. That's what makes it really special. And you can tell when teams celebrate on the field, and I felt it my freshman year and my junior year when we won it. This celebration means something, because winning this tournament and this caliber of competition in this conference means something. And if you ask any one of the players that are playing this week, they would tell you the same thing.
Well, thank you very much, Kayla. We appreciate it. And the motto, I believe, is it just means more. So... We appreciate this. Oh, there it is. There it is. Something more. All right, a one-out base runner here for the Tigers, and the heart of their order coming up. They trail 4-0. This is, of course, single elimination this tournament.
This is who they want up to bat. You see the numbers for Alex Honnold. Jenna Laird on second base.
Honnold, gets through, and they'll send Laird home, and Missouri is on the board. RBI for Alex Honnold.
Well, this is the part of the lineup. There's actually 4 lefties in a row. 8, 9, 1, and 2. And so Laird with the double down the line to left field, and then this is another outside pitch. Fouts likes to stay on that outer half to left-handed hitters, and that's a ball I know she wishes she had back. She probably could have gloved that up. But a base hit back up the middle by Honnold, and gets Mizzou on the board here.
Yeah, the lefties hitting just 154 on the season against Montana. So a big breakthrough there for Laird and Honnold. And here's Cara Daly. Reached on an error back in the first on a hit to short.
No.
Here's a look at the Tigers, who are seeking their first SEC title. Their win last night got them to 8-8 all time since they joined the league. Opposite way, and there's a deep shot. Back to the track, and the catch is made by Pruitt. 2 down. And had a man down there. Blue wiped out, tracking that one. Chris Neighbors. Little slippery. Oh. Popped right back up, though.
It just shows you how wet, though, it is.
Yeah. Yes.
Because, you know, they always tarp the infield, just saying, and then they dump the water into the outfield when the rain's all on the tarp. Yeah, just saying. So
Disrespecting you guys like that? Oh, look at Chris. Yeah, I get knocked down, but I get up again. Well played by the press box. He was just glaring up here at him and smiling.
Down the season, selection show coming up this Sunday night. night that everyone anticipates. No one knows what's going to happen. I mean, Beth thinks she knows, but
who's going where?
Selection Sunday coming up.
one year they're just going to let Beth pick it.
You know what? I think she'd probably do a good job. Her eye test is second to none.
This is actually a year, and we'll just toss that out there right now. We'll lob this right at the selection committee. I think the RPI is off a bit this year, and it'll be interesting to see where they place teams.
Yep.
I think most fans would agree there are some teams that look a little too high and others that look a little too low. I'll just jump right in with Tennessee, the team that won the regular season in the SEC. I mean, I've got them in my top 4 with Oklahoma, UCLA, and Florida State. Those are my top 4 seeds right now, right there.
I agree.
Where are they at in RPI right now?
Too low. Too low. Here's the RPI, top 10 for you. Remember, the top 8 have a chance if they keep winning to host both the regionals and the super regionals. And Tennessee is right there at 10. Louisiana is an enigma to me. They're 2-9 against the top 25. I don't know if they will stay that high. LSU losing here in the first round could be problematic. And Oklahoma State, I think, really needs a good showing in the Big 12 tournament. Stanford did not have a good weekend against Washington. I think maybe the Huskies might be a little higher, especially if Stanford bows out early in the Pac-12. Still a lot of movement to come in the next few days.
Yeah, this has been a year with a lot of parity. You have one club, Club A beats Club B, and then there's just been a lot of mixing going on. And then the mid-majors have been very strong this year as well.
Two-2 pitch. Crenshaw fouls one straight back. Fouts. Back to the rise ball for the blow-by. This tournament, guys, 15 times the winner of the SEC championship played in the World Series later in the postseason. So this has been a real springboard. Or in the case of Tennessee this year, it's also 15 times that the regular season SEC champion has gone on to play in the Women's College World Series. It's been a good indicator of future success. Speaking of success, here's your home run hitter from earlier. 3 home runs and 11 at-bats versus Missouri. She also hit one off of them last year.
Prangy with a lot of power. Just really good at letting that ball travel. It's one of the keys to being able to barrel it up. And also moving her down to the 3 spot. She had been in the 2-hole for a little bit.
Prangy tattoos another one. 2 for 2.
With an 0-2 count.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where I'm seeing Alabama be so successful.
Let's check in with Holly.
Well, Ashley Prangy wrote a really beautiful essay recently that you can see on Alabama's website. And it is talking about the up and shares her mental struggles, but setting a great example right now for Bama.
Thank you very much, Holly. The pop-up here for Allie Shipman after Stevens comes on as the pinch runner. Prangy can re-enter. 1 down for Kenley Cahalan, who singled and scored her last time up. Well, we're seeing the significance of not only the physical fitness, but the mental fitness that is now such a big part of daily life for student athletes.
And how open they are about it. I mean, that's been the biggest thing.
Yeah, the pressure of everything, school, being away from home.
Stolen base attempt, and they got her. Stevens is punched out, and she's going to stay on the base, and I think Murph wants a challenge here.
I'm surprised, actually, Stevens didn't go straight in. She actually tries to almost do a slide by. Crenshaw drops the ball, a great throw.
Yeah, she hesitated too.
Yeah, because the ball was in the dirt. It wasn't a straight steal.
Oh yeah, they
Yeah.
got her.
Yeah.
Yeah, this should be quick.
She had gone straight in with her foot, but it's her
Yeah.
hand that actually goes to the bag because she beat the throw.
In the SEC, they have a central command that they send reviews back to Birmingham, and I think that first angle that we had showed that the tag was applied before she got the hand on it. There is the SEC Video Center, and everyone hard at work through the weather delay today.
I think part of the question too is, you know, as you said, not going into the bag. Did she have a path to go into the bag? Why did she slide past it? You know, that's one of the things we're always seeing.
I thought Maddie Gallagher did a good job coming over from second base and making her.
The call is being upheld as the runner is out at second base.
2 down.
This is a terrific throw, too, by Crenshaw, by the way, after dropping the ball. See the tag of the shoulder?
Yeah, sort of the sitting slide, Jeff, just kept her too upright. And the tag is applied. So the base is cleared now for Cahalan. Kenley out of Trussville, Alabama, arrived on campus early. In fact, she just turned 18 years old in March. But Patrick Murphy loves her attitude, has already shown that ability to elevate others around her. Checked foul.
And it's interesting that, you know, she's one of 3 hitters over 300 in this Alabama lineup, but he's the one that says we need her to get going. It just shows the potential that Coach Murphy thinks she has. Calls her a Kelly Crutchman, right? If you're comparing a freshman to a freshman Kelly Crutchman, you know you got a pretty good athlete on your hands.
Who went on to the United States Olympian. And on the very short list of the all-time greats at Alabama. And it's a strikeout for Lauren Krings. Took a little off, which already ties the most in a single tournament. Infield pop-up, 1 down. We've already had 2 extra inning games today. That's the most in a single day here at the SEC since 2007. And according to our crew, who's been here since the wee early morning hours, that's enough. 2 extra inning games.
We good.
Well, just a terrific job to all the folks that we brought to Fayetteville with us, who are bringing you all the sights and sounds over the next few days here in Fayetteville. Glad to have you aboard on the road to the Women's College World Series. Everybody's got the rain gear out tonight. Fortunately, it has subsided a little bit as we move into the top of the 4th.
Yes. Still rocking the smiles, though.
Yeah.
We got a host of conference championship games on the schedule, at least for Saturday. There's been a lot of weather around the country that has affected a lot of different schedules. So check ESPN.com and your app where you can pull up the scores with all the new times on it. Our friends over at D1 Softball also do a fabulous job tracking everything. And then 2 hours of coverage, prime time on Sunday night for the selection show and the 7 innings after party. We'll unveil the bracket. Will it be the Oklahoma Sooners for a 3rd year in a row? Undoubtedly, they are in line for the #1 seed, followed closely by UCLA at this point. And then Florida State, Tennessee, Northwestern, your champions of the Big Ten during the regular season. Those might be your top 5 seeds for the NCAAs. We'll see how it plays out.
No.
Missouri's been a little more disciplined trying to lay off that rise ball that Fouts has put up at the upper half of the zone.
That's our first 3-ball count, our first full count of the night for Montana. And she cleans it up. Strikeout number 6, 2 down.
So I love the location of this pitch. After throwing a rise ball up at the eyes that Gallagher does not bite on, she lowers that pitch, goes a little bit more on the corner, and just beats her with speed. It's velocity, it's great rotation, and it's the 3 S's we always talk about. It's speed, spins, and spots. And when Montana is hitting all 3 of those, well, that's part of the reason she's only 2 strikeouts away from 300 on the year.
Leads the country in strikeouts.
What's incredible, though, it's many because you said it. They're laying off the rise, the one out of the zone, but she'll come right back in the zone. And to me, that's the most powerful indicator of a great pitch, is when you're throwing it in the strike zone and you're still getting the miss.
Yeah. And when she throws with great velocity, how she is tonight, sometimes she throws through her spins. So she may not have as much movement because she just has all that velocity. So she's relying on making sure that she's throwing that pitch 71, 72 miles an hour, so the barrel is missing it, because sometimes it is a little bit straighter. I think that's why that drop ball was so important to her this year, that Lance really worked with her. But when you're throwing that rise ball under the hands like that,
Yeah.
so hard to catch up to.
And you saw, too, 63 miles an hour, so it's funny that we're saying that now that's slowing it down, but
2-2 to Mall, who singled her first time up. One of the 3 hits tonight off of Fouts. Infield pop. Nobody over at the bag at first, and Mall will beat it out.
Well, this just needs to have better communication over on the right side of the infield. I think that if Broadfoot is going to go for this, then there needs to be a little bit of talk on who's going to the bag. And I absolutely think that's, you know, Kaylee. And then, yeah, and you can see he's upset. He's like, why are you going to the ball? So I think Broadfoot in that situation, seeing it, she probably needs to go back to the bag, but they need to be communicating who's going to the ball.
So that's the second infield miscue of the ball game for Alabama. It'll be ruled a hit, but I think all parties involved know that should have been the 3rd out of the inning. Here's Peyton Jackson, struck out on a rise ball her first time out. Another 2-strike count for Montana Fouts. Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 7. And Holly will chat with Patrick Murphy when we run tonight for Alabama. And then this part, the bottom half of the order, provided the 3 runs in that 2nd inning. That one in the dirt from Cranes. Weather update, it looks like the raindrops have stopped falling.
Let's get all the games in now.
Keep playing.
Exactly.
Through the night. We're back at it tomorrow morning, 11 Eastern, 10 local time, with Florida and Kentucky. And we'll see how many of the teams that had the bye can get going tomorrow. Let's keep that rolled up off to the side, please.
Exactly.
The 1 seed Tennessee, the 2 seed Georgia, the 3 seed Auburn, and the 4 seed Arkansas. Dowling gets under it. Out to shallow left, and it drops. And Bailey Dowling will hustle all the way to second base. Snyder was calling off the shortstop, Jenna Laird, but couldn't get to it, and it fell almost on Jenna's head.
And this is all Jenna Laird. I mean, she's camped out underneath it, and I don't even see Snyder being that loud to call it off, and that's the one time as when you're camped under it, just be loud, unless she lost it, but it's a ball that cannot drop. You got to credit too Bailey Dowling just not slowing up. I mean, that's an easy fly ball. You could just jog out. Instead, she hustles and gets to second base.
And it did not look like it hit her glove, so they will rule this a double for Bailey Dowling.
It's interesting. You could see that Laird was saying something. I couldn't read her lips, though, to see what.
Only thing I could think of is I lost it.
Yeah.
She lost it,
Yeah.
but.
So here comes Emma Broadfoot. Emma laid down a good sacrifice to move the runners back in the second. One of their 3 sacrifices in that inning. A couple of bunts and a fly. Corners are pinched in.
No.
And that'll trickle away from Crenshaw. And Dowling goes to third.
Crenshaw has been so good behind the plate. We've seen her just getting balls out of the dirt, jumping up over her head.
Now the defense is going to have to be pinched way in again. Corners in, middles in.
Ball.
3-1.
Off speed. And that's the pitch that she's got to have, and that's elevated. That's high out of the zone. Usually when Krings can bury that low in the zone, it's just so much more effective.
Broadfoot. Will that be deep enough? It's shallow right center, and it will not. Jackson coming on to make the catch, one down. Callie Hevlin, the RBI single in the second, then she came around to score. Alabama 1 for 3 tonight with a runner in scoring position.
Ball.
Continuing to throw Hevlin underneath the hands. She starts with that open stance and working her in that upper inside zone.
Krings catches the corner. Lauren got the win last night, threw over 100 pitches over 7 innings, gave up just a couple of hits with the 1 earned run in the 3-1 win over Mississippi State to advance.
I was actually surprised she didn't start this game. I really thought they would come back to her because she was so good last night.
Well, and based on what happened early, I'm sure there'll be some Monday morning quarterbacking going on. Thursday morning quarterbacking. Got out in front.
Wow.
Strikeout number 2 for Lauren with the off speed.
Yeah, that pitch is just nasty. The way that she throws this, the way it comes out of her hand, that backward rotation on it, and if she just sells it. And that's the key with this pitch. You got to sell it, and you got to locate it in a perfect spot. You could just see Heavlin is just way out in front of that pitch, doesn't identify it, swings through it. When Krings is throwing that changeup really well, she reminds me of Danielle Laurie. The way that she hops up at the end of the pitch, it just reminds me of
the D'Lo with the velo.
The D'Lo with the velo that had that outstanding changeup as well.
Led Washington to the national championship in 2009, and she's got White here 0-2. That was back in the days when you saw a lot of one-arm wonders, right? The one stud that can throw every pitch for you through the NCAA tournament.
A little bit of what Alabama's going to hope to bring back. Montana Fouts.
She might be the last of the breed. There's a few of those around. You know, Maddie Penta we'll see possibly for Auburn. Those two are amongst the nation's leaders in innings pitched. Penta led the league with 25 wins this year.
Yeah, that's an interesting conversation when you look at Maddie Penta and Montana Fouts, who's going to be the SEC Pitcher of the Year.
Oh, yeah. Ashley Rogers at Tennessee.
Well, guys, I did want to point out, you know, it used to be it's hard to ride one arm through the Women's College World Series, but with the expanded format this year, do you think that would help somebody like Montana Fouts because they don't play as often? The games are spread out a little bit more. This is the second year of that expanded schedule. Could be a factor.
I think that absolutely helps as long as you stay in the winner's bracket.
Oh, and is Alabama going to get a run here?
Hold on to it.
Bailey Dowling, who never should have been on base, scores without a hit in the inning for the Crimson Tide.
This is a wild pitch. Gets away from Crenshaw. Down in the dirt, and you're right, talking about taking advantage of some miscues. That's what this inning has been. Alabama getting on base. Looked like a double in the scorebook, was an error.
And then a pair of wild pitches brings her home. And it happens against the number 9 hitter, who you then end up striking out. Tough break there for Missouri. This is the third time that she is seeing, or the third start that she is seeing Missouri. And she has been doing some damage. She has added 7 more strikeouts tonight, so that's 33 total in her 20 innings. And just the 1 earned run over that stretch. And that was tonight. The 2 regular season starts, she shut them out. She's already up over 20 swings and misses. A couple of times this year she's had over 30. She starts out the top of the 5th with the number 9 hitter, Maddie Snyder.
Ball.
And I like that pitch at 0-2. She comes inside. It's a ball. It's a great waist. She relies heavily on that arm side of the plate to the lefty, so being able to waist low and inside is key for a setup.
Opposite way, slam down the line, fair ball. And Snyder with the base hit, hold her to the long single. And that'll pass the bat to the top of the order in Jenna Laird.
So that's a hit given up with 2 strikes, a 1-2 count, a little bit too close. But when you really look at some of the spray charts, she tends to give up most of her hits to lefties to left field, going that opposite way. They're almost looking. All you have to do is put your bat out and just spray it. Shoot it out that opposite way.
Laird struck out in the 1st, doubled and scored in the 3rd.
Ball.
So this is what I was talking about. Because she's so arm side heavy, look at where she gives up hits to left-handed hitters, because she's always on that outer half. And as a left-handed hitter myself, I don't know about you, Jess, but I always felt like that was the easiest pitch for me to hit, especially when it was velocity, because you could let that ball travel and you just shoot it the opposite way.
Yeah, it's also the best way to see it deep,
Yep.
you know, to not chase the ones that are balls that you're going to miss on. Get the ones that you can hit for hits, as Maddie Snyder just did.
Yeah, the beautiful artwork courtesy of our friends at 643 Charts. Laird, Cahalan, and they're going to double up the base runner. 2 down as they erase Snyder at first.
And this hurts too if you're Missouri. I mean, you do the job that you want to, being able to get to fouls, get on base, and no reason to not freeze on this in the air, and it's not even close.
And really important because Alex Hunold comes up now, one of their top hitters who drove in their only run in the 3rd.
And I love Montana Fouts' emotion at the end of that, right? She was like looking at her defense, giving them the like pump sign. She has just shown so much more emotion this year, and I love seeing that out of her.
She's enjoying the game more. I've always felt like she had so much pressure on her, which is ironic because I feel like she has the most pressure on her this year.
Totally.
But instead, she's embracing it, realizing it's the end of at least the college part of her career. And
time is short, that sense of urgency. It's a new dynamic too with the transfer portal. While you're welcoming in some new guys, you're also there can be a hurt when people leave. Well, what do you mean you don't want to be here with us and play with us and continue to grow what we've been building here? And so I think there is an adjustment, especially for a team like this that lost so many and welcomed so many others.
Ball.
We hear that from a lot of coaches, right? And using a lot of different language. We want people that want to be here.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, dugout chemistry, right? That's so important.
And so I think that heightens the sense of pride for those left behind that are still wearing the jersey. Hey, we're going to rep, and we're going to show you what we got. And as Patrick Murphy likes to say, some teams just need a longer runway to take off, and it took them a little more time this year to bring it all together. And they are hoping that the pieces are in place.
No.
I think understanding and embracing what you are too. I mean, that's probably one of the hardest things is once you find that identity of it might not be what you started off thinking what you were. For Alabama, it's not, they're not going to overpower people. And Montana Fouts will, but their offense is going to be about putting the ball in play, using your speed, situational stuff.
No.
Which means you need the whole team.
That is the umpire's mic, by the way. That's not some Joe Schmo just yelling out, no, he disagrees with what we're saying. As far as we know, maybe he does, but it's great to have that sound back there from the men and women in blue. who will be with us all weekend. We certainly appreciate all of their efforts. And it's such a collaborative effort to continue to work together to, you know, keep finding ways to make our game grow and make it even better. One-0 to Daly.
1-2.
You know, I certainly think there will need to be a conversation this offseason about the length of games. It's gotten a little too long. I mean, we can't have college softball games longer than Major League Baseball, and they've made some incredible changes to speed up the pace of play, and that's always been one of softball's greatest strengths, is its pace of play. Holly?
Very good as of late. Just her first walk in the last 18 innings, and when Montana is controlling the strike zone, she is so strong. But there are thoughts about that finger and potentially if it starts to bother you, but even more important is just the moisture in the air.
Obviously, that could be a huge development for Alabama tonight and moving forward. Looks like she wants to get her rhythm back a little bit too. Yeah. She's calling for the pitches to come to her sooner. The runner goes, and the stolen base for Honold.
th stolen base of the year for Honold.
RBI opportunity here for Daly. It's back-to-back 3-ball counts from Fouts. And is that a catch out in left field? No, it is not.
She tried to sell it.
And that'll drop in for a base hit to drive in a run.
Jenna Johnson, I mean, she gets a great read on this, but you're going to see it just barely hops before it gets into the glove. But just overall, a great play. She tries to sell it, though. Watch, she comes up, tries to show it to the umpire. I got it, just in case. Of course, now with replay review. Yeah, but a good job again. Kara Daly coming up with a big hit. She's been their clutch hitter the last 3 games. Big smile on her face.
Well, we talked about it. It had to come from the top of their order, and it has tonight. They've been responsible for both of their runs. Laird, Honold, and Daly have either scored them or driven them in.
And how about the stolen base by Honold on a 3-1 count, right? I mean, that was pretty amazing for her to take off on that.
I think of Maddie Snyder was still on base, too. I mean, it was the first hit of this inning.
Double play looms large. Here's Julia Crenshaw, 0 for 2, struck out on a rise baller last time up.
A lot of misses with the drop ball right now. That's the pitch that I'm seeing Montana Fouts. I mean, obviously the rise ball is what she's known for. Going to the drop a ton, and what Holly Rowe just reported on with that grip, her fussing with her finger, I've noticed it the most on the drop.
Yeah, now she's hit the 100 pitch mark.
No.
That has not been a strike. It was definitely a go-to pitch, at least to get the bottom of the zone before she'd go back to the rise.
There is no activity in the Alabama bullpen. Two-two pitch. Called strike 3, and Montana Fouts with her 300th strikeout of the season and the second 300K year. Semis for Friday. We'll see if we can stay on track for the championship Saturday afternoon, because there is some more weather likely tomorrow. Beth Mowens, Jessica Mendoza, Michelle Smith, and Holly Rowe with you. Jenna Johnson in the top of the order here for Alabama. Out to center, Hunold's got it. One down. It is shaping up to be a big weekend for the likes of Alabama, Arkansas, Georgia, Auburn, and Florida, where a good run in this tournament, you're definitely going to get a seed. Could be higher, could be a top 8. For the likes of Auburn or Florida right now, they are on the outside of the top 16 RPI looking in. But we saw a few years back with Ole Miss, they won 4 games here to win the championship, and boom, before you know it, they're hosting the next weekend. So those are 5 that I'm really going to be keyed in on this weekend.
I think the conference tournaments, to me, are a better indicator of what you're going to see in the postseason, and I think the selection committee looks at, because it's more of value. It's single elimination. It's your back's against the wall.
Yeah, something's on the line.
Yep.
Pruitt, diving stab on the grass, but not in time to catch the speedy Larissa. And a base runner for Bama with 1 out.
Pruitt is so fast. Jess, she's got such wheels for a freshman. When she gets this ball down, she can just really leg it out.
Well, she hit it hard. I mean, that's the thing, is this isn't a soft hit ball that she legged out. I know you saw Gallagher have to leave her feet, but she hit that thing hard, got down, beat it out.
I had a base runner here for Ashley Prangy. She hit the home run off the starter, Jordan Weber, and then she singled off Lauren Krings.
Ball. Ball 2.
And the biggest thing, too, I see when Ashley Prangy is doing well, she's going right, is the trust that she has. So when you talked about it with her letting the ball travel, she hits the ball deep, that's when you trust your swing. You'll see hitters when they're jumping at the ball, they're trying to make something happen. Prangy, she hit an 0-2 off-speed pitch, opposite field.
Prangy gets a hold of another one, and out it goes. Her second home run of the night. This a 2-run shot.
Almost the same spot, too. I mean, she's swinging it hot, but the biggest thing to me is the calm, even as the pitch is coming. When you've got trust, you've got belief, and you know I'm going to crush just about anything that's going to come my way, you wait. You have patience, and you see that on this pitch. Her other home run, almost the same location. Look at her weight stay back. She hits this off the middle part of her body, not her front foot. And I just love how she goes straight into the jog. Just drop the bat. I know it's out.
She knew what she was looking for, and you could just see it, the way she took her other pitches, and that's what you were talking about, Jess. That's the way she's allowing that ball to travel. You get a longer look. You know what you're hunting.
4, 5, and 6. Set to come up here with the 1 out, 2 runs in. Seventh relief appearance of the year for Sierra. And it's Allie Shipman who's 0 for 2.
She swung at the first pitch her last 2 at bat. Just missed a home run her first at bat. Trying to find that balance of being aggressive. But also not swinging at pitches out of the zone.
That will stay in play, and it's dropped in foul territory. That is the 3rd miscue defensively for the team that had the best fielding percentage in the league this year.
Yeah, that's just off the heel of her glove. She lost it in the lights, but that's definitely a ball you want back. Yeah, just 33 errors coming into today's game.
We'll give Shipman another chance.
Talking to Allie Shipman before the game. Beth, you'd mentioned concussion she got last Friday, the 2 foul balls off of her catcher's helmet. She was saying how she's feeling so much better the last few days, but really she just couldn't wait to get back out there. It's always a scary feeling.
No.
Two-two pitch. Base hit. Pounds it through the 5-6.
And this is assist to Cara Daly, dropping up that pop fly, but giving Allie Shipman another opportunity. And this is the bat that I circle in this lineup. I mean, if she can get going and get hot, there's so many things that can happen because she's right there in the middle. Pat Murphy told Holly Rowe it's about passing the bat and keeping it going. And this is the part of the lineup that has to continue to keep going what the top of the order has been doing.
And passing the bat to Kenley Cahalan. Singled and scored in the second, struck out in the third.
My bad.
So it's interesting too when you look at Cahalan. You know, she's got that front foot. She's so open, Jess, that you know she's heavy pull hitter, but she still can get around that outside pitch. She's got some length and she can cover that out. But it is interesting to watch her.
Well, that was the hit, Smitty, that she got in this game. She pulled an outside pitch. Really uses her backside and that top hand, even if her front foot is open.
One from Harrison. To short. And did they pull her off the base? No, the call is out at second. Patrick Murphy would like somebody to take a closer look at that. Well, it appeared the foot was still on the base. Traveling with the ball in the glove.
Drags it across the top of the bag. Yeah, it's an out.
Yep, that will stand for the second out.
It's a great play by Maddie Gallagher because this ball is yanked by Jenna Laird. Very close.
No.
Bailey Dowling having a night, single and a double. Scored both times. And her swing, everything up the middle. She's got that slight split grip with her hands.
Dowling down the line. And foul.
Ball smoked. This is why you swing at rise balls.
Well, she's come through with an RBI in all of their SEC series this year.
Second most home runs on this team.
Ball.
She actually raised her batting average to over 300 in tonight's game with those, with the single and the double, the misplayed double, but it was still a double.
Yeah, she gets on base with a misplayed pop-up, and then a couple of wild pitches, she comes in to score. So the Bama run in the 4th was without a hit. Just taking advantage of the situation. Yeah. Dowling, straightaway center, and right at Honnold. Side retired, but a couple runs in the start. Much, guys. 7-2 Alabama with the lead over Missouri. It's the 5 seed beating the 13 seed right now. As we go to the top of the 6th, and it's more Montana Fouts. 8 strikeouts on the night for Montana, 300 now for the season. 5, 6, 7 coming up here for Missouri. And they've got 6 outs to work with. Ashley Prangy, 2 home runs this evening for Alabama to drive in 3. And a called strike 3, so that's a couple in a row looking for Fouts.
And this is where her rise ball is so good. We see the swing and miss. We've talked about the swing and miss, but when you can get the low rise within the strike zone, that's what we've seen freeze now 2 consecutive hitters. You see that spin as a hitter, and you're like, no, I don't want to swing at that.
That's why it's so easy for rise ball pitchers to get in your head, right? Because you read spin, and you're like, no, that's going up, and it's right down the middle, and you're like, oh, I should have swung at that.
Beth, the look on Smitty's face when she said that looked like a serial killer. Just like, yeah, you get in their heads, and you attack them.
It's a little creepy. Lashed out to left, and that'll drop in for a base hit for Maddie Gallagher.
I was talking with Missouri coach Larissa Anderson before the game about their approach versus Montana Fouts. She was really good against them 2 games earlier this season, and she said, you know, because she doesn't change speeds a ton, we have to just pick something that we can lay off. So she's going with the rise, but then she can drop. So you have to eliminate one of those zones and sit on something, but you don't have to sit on a change of speed per se. So just wondering if you think that approach is working so far at the plate.
That's exactly what Smitty showed in the spray chart with left-handed batters. I mean, Maddie Gallagher does a perfect job there. Just get to contact. And if you're just trying to get to contact, you eliminate so many other weaknesses in your swing that get that miss. And that's how hitters, you'll give up the base hit if you're Montana Fouts.
There have been 7 of them today. Cahalan makes the catch at short. Tries for first, 2 down.
Yeah, a lot of times we talk about splitting the plate. So you can split it inside, outside, but you can also split it high and low, which I had to do because I was not a very good rise ball hitter. So I was always looking low.
Low down. And it's also the change of speed to the point, because I think if you're just trying to get your barrel there and she's providing the velocity and there isn't that changeup in her repertoire that you're trying to protect, makes it a little bit easier.
Looks like she's got some fresh tape on that finger. Katie Chester is the pinch hitter coming up. She'll hit for Peyton Jackson in the 8th spot. Chester first pitch swinging, and White properly placed. Side retired, a base hit, 1 left on, another strikeout for Tana and a 7-2 lead. A tip of the cap to the bottom of their lineup, as they have helped in the run production as well. And here is the bottom, Emma Broadfoot coming up. A sacrifice and a fly out for her. Five seed trying to move on, 3 outs away from a date with the 4 seed Arkansas. Hopefully tomorrow night, weather permitting. Otherwise, Missouri needs a big 7th inning rally. Turn things around. they will have 9 and then the top of their order coming back up. So that could give Laird, Honnold, and Daly all a chance to see Fouts a 4th time. Laird on the grass, 1 down. She has been the difference maker tonight.
Confidence is so high, too. You just see it. She gets in the batter's box, Smitty. Just like you see it with a pitcher who knows what she's doing.
And I almost feel like that injury where she had to sit, she was out a couple games, almost like reset her. You know, sometimes your perspective when you spend a little time in the dugout, you come back out and you see the game a little differently.
Oh no, it's real. I mean, even seeing that shift with Allie Shipman. I mean, after, I know it was just a couple games, but she's a lot more aggressive in her at-bats. Ashley Prangy just looks so comfortable. Like she knows she's gonna hit.
Evelyn went for the bunt.
Patrick Murphy talked about passing the baton, passing the bat. Consecutiveness is what I like to say. But
Nice.
they've done that, you know. They've followed up. Passing the bat to each other. Pruitt, Prangy, Shipman in the 5th. Cahalan and Dowling in the 2nd. Followed by a sacrifice. And then Hedlund with her base hit that drove in a run. And so when you can do that in multiple innings, you're going to put runs up on the board.
0-2. Popped her up. 2 down. Hitter here. Chance of dew coming from the Alabama dugout. Highly touted recruit out of North Dakota. Her 34th at-bat of the season.
Ball, that's it. Good.
Good takes. Harrison, the freshman pitcher from Mizzou, likes to work that screwball underneath the hands of righties. Pitcher's been well off the plate.
Jammed her. And a 1-2-3 inning for Sierra Harrison as we head to the 7th. Last chance coming up for Mizzou with a 7-2 tied lead. 7th. 9, 1, and 2 due up. Fouts has already thrown 110 pitches. Looking for her 23rd win and her 28th complete game of the year.
And that last pitch was key for her. Fastball inside, comes back inside again after living on that arm side, that outside pitch to lefties.
Well, because then you want to cheat.
Yeah.
Right? We were talking about all the hits.
Yep.
Going to the left side, you can kind of cheat a little bit, get on the plate, try to poke it in the left. And now she's saying, no, I'll back you off.
That's right. But now you can expand out there.
Slow roll to short. Cahalan charges. 1 down. All right, so here comes the gauntlet of Laird, Honnold, and Daly coming up. They have provided all the scoring tonight. Laird is the most successful against Fouts in the SEC. A 368 career batting average against Montana. And a reminder that SEC Now is coming up next.
Ball, a little bit.
Laird a strikeout, then a double scored in the third, and then the infield pop-up double play in the fifth. RPI is 38. The strength of schedule is also 38. They have 6 top 25 wins and a resume that should be enough to get them into the NCAA tournament. Base hit up the middle for Laird. And a one-out base runner. That's their 8th hit tonight off of Fouts. They only had 7 off of her in the 3-game regular season series.
Yeah, the difference is Laird's had the only extra base hit. All singles. This is where Montana Fouts gets better. You get runners on, the rare runner in scoring position, she gets better.
Yeah, Patrick Murphy compared her to Monica Abbott in that stamina department.
Yeah.
You know, people that get better with less rest.
Talk about riding a pitcher.
Want to throw all the time. Ooh. 2007 with the Volunteers and Monica Abbott.
Well, when you start to throw more innings as a pitcher, you have to realize, okay, my velocity may not be there, so now I'm going to rely a little bit more on my spin and my movement through the zone and my location. And you know, that's one of the things Montana's worked on this year. She's worked on that drop ball, so more drop than fastball, but also that rise ball. If she takes a little bit off it, it's still just as effective because then she's relying more on the movement than on the velocity.
No.
Well, and even though she doesn't have that true changeup too, I feel like the drop gives it that enough off speed because it's about 8 miles an hour off of her rise ball. When she's throwing her rise ball about 71, 72, the drop's actually at like 63.
Yeah, it's all about that separation, whether or not it's velocity separation or vertical separation of your pitches. It's just having a different look so the hitters just can't be sitting on one thing, one speed, one location.
The 3-1. Ground ball, Cahalan backhands it to second the short way in time. And Missouri's talking about a review might be necessary here. The umpires can use their discretion late in games, and now I think Larissa is asking for it anyways. Call is out at second.
Missouri is challenging the out call at second base.
It's tight.
This is another one. If she gets her leg straight into the bag, she's safe.
Yeah, that
she
angle
was bent.
That one right there looked out.
Yeah.
But watch her leg bend.
Good stretch too.
Jenna Laird doesn't go straight into the bag. And we've seen that now twice with Missouri. They actually beat the throw if they go straight in.
And that's a good stretch by Hevlin. If she wouldn't have stretched, she would have been safe.
Out.
I have not seen the video evidence to change it from these angles. This was the one that looked like she might have
The call is
gotten
upheld of being out at second base.
So all of the challenges have actually been upheld tonight. And it's 2 down, so Missouri down to its final out of this SEC tournament. And it's Cara Daly who's been the star of their 3 recent games with a couple of walk-off home runs, a big RBI yesterday. She has one of their hits tonight. Walked, stole a base, and scored in the 5th.
Ball.
She's had good at-bats, too. She's a batter in this lineup. Yeah, she's had clutch hits, but she also leads the team in strikeouts. So usually a lot of swing and miss. And if you're going to swing and miss against anyone, it's Fouts. Instead, she's put the ball in play. She's made things happen, creating errors, even a base hit.
2-1.
Yeah, to your point, she's got 51 strikeouts on the year, which is quite a high number.
Swing and a miss. Down to their final strike. Looking for her 10th strikeout of the night. Montana Fouts, the 2-2. Got her. Ball game, Bama, and the Tide win and advance as the 5 seed moves on to the quarterfinals.
Whenever I look into your eyes, I find less peace and love for me. You are everything that I have ever wanted. I want to spend every second of my life with you. I don't know, it's some kind of a magical effect being with you. So the joy effect that I have turned us away. So did the effect on your smile on me in my life. Baby, you are and will remain mine forever and ever. Whenever I look into your eyes, I find less peace and love for me. You are everything that I have ever wanted. I want to spend every second of my life with you. I don't know, it's some kind of a magical effect being with you. So the joy effect that I have turned us away. So did the effect on your smile on me in my life. Baby, you are and will remain mine forever and ever. I don't know, it's some kind of a magical effect being with you. So the joy effect that I have turned us away. So did the effect